Hey everybody, I am super excited to bring you another project for Finnabair's creative team. I have decided to do a canvas and I've used some impasto paints, some of the fluid acrylics, and some other random things, and I will get into that as the project progresses. But I just wanted to let you guys know that all of the supplies will be listed down below in the description box. And if you are not subscribed to this YouTube channel, whether it's my channel or Finnabair's channel, please hit that subscribe button and also leave a comment down below just saying hi, and also give this video a thumbs up. It really helps out content creators and we really truly appreciate it. All right, so the canvas I am using is 9 by 7. It's a little bit different size than I normally use. I cannot remember where I got these, maybe Walmart or Target. But obviously you can use any canvas that you can find. I am just taking these wood pieces that I had gotten at the craft store and just kind of arranging them, gluing them down just in the center here. I wanted the main focus to be in the center, and I really like how the wood pieces look in the back. It just gives a lot of dimension without having to use a lot of other supplies to do this. You can also use paper, like you could cut up paper in different squares and different lengths and sizes and create the same look. It would just be a little bit more flat instead of so dimensional. So if these little wood pieces are not an option for you, try using some of your scraps to cut out some little squares and stuff. It creates really cool effect as well. All right, I am taking some metal pieces. They are just kind of random pieces that I have in my stash from Finnabair, from her mechanicals, and I have a clock face there, and then I also have a tab from a kitten food can. I like using those in my projects. I actually have two here. And I'm using Fabri-Tac to glue everything down. I probably should have used heavy body gel to adhere everything down, but it was just on my desk when I was creating, so I just used it. I have one of the metal quotes here, and then I added also a small pocket watch and added a couple other embellishments. I used some resin to create some stars in one of Finnabair's molds, and also the little moon face there. And now I'm going to be adding some black sand texture paste. You can use white sand texture paste as well, or you can make your own with like maybe soft matte gel and some of the texture powder from Finnabair. I've done that in the past and it turns out really well. I'm just wanting to create a little bit of texture. I didn't want to add any more design such as like paste with a stencil or anything, so that's why I'm just adding some of this texture sand. It's really, really neat. And I'm using my finger because using the spatula just wasn't working. Trying to get on all of the embellishments and on the wood and then the canvas, it was easier just to use my finger, and I'm not shy about getting my hands dirty. I love that about mixed media, is just you can kind of just get messy and let go and just create to your heart's content. All right, so I just added it kind of randomly here and there, and then I'm going to let that dry completely, and then I'm going to add a couple coats of white gesso. This is the heavy gesso from Finnabair. And my initial first coat of gesso, I'm not too worried about the metal showing or getting in all of those nooks and crannies. I want a first nice base coat of gesso, and then I'll go in with my heat tool and I will heat the gesso as I am adding it to the canvas. You're going to see here. This way the gesso dries quicker, it gets a little bit tackier, and then it adheres really well to metal pieces and like the wood and the resin pieces and things like that. It really helps just give a nice coat of gesso to a project. I do this method often with the heat tool and the gesso when I have a lot of different elements on a project because, you know, like the resin pieces and also the metal pieces, it doesn't hold the gesso very well. So I find that when I heat it up and it gets tacky and it's drying a little bit faster, then it adheres really well. All right, so I'm going to move on to color now, and I am using some Impasto paint. This one is Manor Blue, probably one of my favorite colors of all time. And I watered it down a little bit. I am adding the color to the bottom and the top, almost just kind of behind all of the embellishments at first, and up on maybe like the first layer of the wood pieces and the embellishments and things. I'm not adding this color to all of the canvas just yet. I wasn't very sure my direction at first. I kind of wanted to get a feel of what I wanted to do, so I was kind of adding little bits at a time. And when you have acrylic paint and you water it down, it's really easy to kind of just wipe it off if you don't really want that color there, or if you add too much. If I were to add it directly to the canvas, if you work fast and you think like right away, oh, I don't want that there, you can kind of get it off. But the water really helps in kind of just helping, so that if I make a mistake, I can wipe it off. And also the gesso helps as well. All right, so I'm going in with a, what's this color? Burnt Sienna in the liquid acrylic. I'm using a really small brush from Finnabair just to get around some of the edges around the, like the bolts and underneath some of the metal embellishments. I didn't anticipate that I was going to go to the rusty look, but as I was adding this color, I thought that, you know, I can envision it as I was adding this color. So what I'm doing is just adding it to where I think maybe it would kind of get a little bit rusty and look a little bit older, and I wanted the project to have a lot of depth as well. So I'm adding it just to all of the lines and underneath all of the embellishments, just to give the embellishments shadow, and again to add depth to the project. So I like the liquid acrylics because they're very concentrated color, and you can water them down as well. And as you could see here, a little bit goes a long way. And I have this puffy brush, and then I remembered I have the dabbing brushes from Finnabair as well, which work just as good, probably better to be honest. But you could see I'm kind of dabbing it around and kind of blending it out with that puffy brush. It's a round brush, but I'm going to call it my puffy brush. And I add a little bit of water and a little bit more color, and then I'll go in with the puffy brush and just kind of blend it all out so that I can get the look that I want. And I'm just going to continue to do this. And it takes a little bit because I don't want to add too much at a time. It's easier to add little bits at a time rather than kind of just add too much and then have to take it away and cover it up. So I'm taking my time and just adding it again to all of the places where I think there would be shadow, or under all of the embellishments and the wood pieces and things like that. So I work on the bottom portion first, and then as you could see, I flipped the canvas around so I can work on the top part. And I'm doing it this way so that I can make sure that I'm getting underneath all of those crevices and in between all of the embellishments and stuff. So I like to kind of twist my projects around to make sure that I'm getting everywhere. And then, you know, once I'm done with the project, it's not a surprise like, oh, I forgot that spot because I couldn't see it because I was just working on one angle. So that is, I guess, a little tip as well. Just kind of move your project around a little bit and play around, the different angles of your project. All right, so I am going in with a little bit more blue, and then I'll kind of blend it out with my finger and then a little bit more water. And I did speed some of this up quite a bit, or else this video would have probably have been like 45 minutes long. And I didn't want to bore you guys. So I think you guys get the gist of what I'm doing here. So that's why I kind of just sped this part up quite a bit. And then we'll move on to the next color, I believe. Oh, no, I lied. I'm going to, again, add more blue to the top of the canvas here. And it looks kind of crazy right now, but as you're going to see here, I'm going to blend it out with a little bit of water and my finger. And then I'm going to go in with a paper towel and kind of get up a little bit of that color. I'm gonna see here just a second. Yep, there we go. And then it just kind of blends everything out. So, it looks like it all goes together. It flows really nicely. And I don't really like stark lines. I don't like, I like everything to, I try to get everything to flow really nicely together. And look really uniform and, like everything goes together. All right, so I'm going to add another color, and this one is Tiger Orange. This is where more of that rusty look comes in. And if you don't have the rust paste or any of those, the paste sets, then this is a good way to stretch maybe what you already have. You can also use the Impasto paints if you have those. And let's see, you can use the mica powders, maybe for a little bit of a softer look. But just use what you have, and you can get a result that you like. So I'm going in with that dabbing brush now and just kind of blending everything together. I don't want to add too much of this Tiger Orange because it is very, very bright. I do kind of mix it in a little bit with the burnt sienna just to kind of, I guess make everything flow nicely together. I know I repeat myself a lot, but it's just kind of my thought process, and I hope that it helps you in creating a project, whether it's like this one or, something different. I hope that you can use some of the techniques and tips and tricks that I'm showing you guys for your future projects. All right, so I am, again, taking that dabbing brush, and I do use my finger a lot on this project. I find that it just blends everything really nicely together. And you'll see here it's going to start coming together. I'm going to add a little bit more water just so that everything kind of just flows. I feel like I'm saying the same words and phrases over and over and over, but this video is quite long, and I think I've explained a lot so far. But if you ever create a project inspired by me, be sure to tag me on Instagram or Facebook. I would love to see it. And yeah, so I'm going to add a little bit more blue. I felt that the blue needed to come up a little bit more on the top here, and then I'll kind of wipe it away and blend it out. And I really love these colors together. At first, when I was kind of adding the orange, I was kind of getting a little bit worried, but I think it turned out really great. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit of blue to the bottom, and then I'll do the same thing. I'll blend it out and make it look like it all flows together. All right, to finish the project up, I'm going to mix together some water and some heavy gesso, white gesso, and that is going to create a runny, splattery goodness that I could just splatter on my project. I felt it needed something and I tried to add a sticker quote or like a little photo. It just wasn't working for me, and I realized that I didn't add my splatters yet. You guys know that I love splatters, and I think it just kind of brings everything together and just finishes a project really nicely. So I'm just going to finish that up with the splatters. And like I said before, I turned the canvas around to make sure that I am getting in all of those areas. I think if you add splatters just one way on a project, it just looks too uniform. So that's why I kind of twist and turn it and make sure that I'm getting all angles. That is going to complete this project. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, again, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave me a comment down below and don't forget to hit that like button. I truly appreciate it. Here's a couple more videos you might enjoy, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.